Hello, everyone. This is Wes Fryer. I am recording this in the summer of 2020 as we anticipate doing some remote learning for the coming academic school year. And in this screencast, I'd like to teach you how you can do create what I'll call a lesson cast. And that means you are going to be recording using, in this case, Google Hangout Meet, but it's not for live students. It's going to be for students who are missing class, who cannot be in class. And this is a way that you can get your recording of part of your lesson available for students when they are not in class. And so you can access the resources for this on our instructional website that we set up actually last March. That is at support.cassidy.org. You're going to go to the modules section and look for the module on lesson cast. You can scan that QR code if you want to do that as well. And you can think about this process as basically what some people would call an app smash if we were using an iPad, where you're going to use different apps in sequence with the result that you're going to have a shareable video. And this is designed really to try to minimize the number of steps. So on the website for this module, you're going to be able to access this Google document, and this has step-by-step requirements explaining what you need to do. Now, the first thing it's going to explain is that you need in Google Drive to go into your folder that's going to have all of your Meet recordings and set up the sharing for that folder. There's several different ways, of course, that you can share these, but here in Google Drive, if you've recorded on Google Meets, there's a folder called Meet Recordings, and this is going to have every recording that you have made with Google Meets in this one place. What I recommend you do is you click on the name of that folder and you choose Share, and you change the settings so that anyone on the internet who has the link can actually view those recordings. And so it's an unlisted link. Unless they have the direct link, they can't go to it. But that way, you're going to hopefully be able to share these links on Google Classroom or Seesaw or whatever kind of learning management system that you're using. All right, so those are the first steps that you're going to need to do. Now, before each class, with this technique, I recommend you set up a calendar event. And so I'm just going to do that as an example. So I'm going to go here to my calendar and I'm going to go ahead and click. And let's say we're going to start a new thing, a new event. I'm going to model what I recommend that you do. And that is go ahead and name your class, give it the section number, and then also say today's date, because you are going to want, obviously, to be able to identify what this is, and it will take the name that you give the event, and that's what it's going to put on the file name. That's going to help you. It's going to help your students as well. So you have a good title here, and then for the time, let's say we're going to do this today as a test from 3:40 until 3:50 p.m. You actually want to be using the correct time, because I have seen this happen before, where if you don't have the event at the right time, you start early. Sometimes the recording doesn't add to the calendar. The recording still happens, but try to get your time correct and get that set. So there's my time. Now I'm going to click this blue button here that says Add Google Meet Video Conferencing. And now this particular event has a Google Meet with it, and I can click Save. So I am now done with the section of the instructions here that says before each class starts. And note, I do not recommend that you invite students right now to this event. Remember, we're not wanting this to be a live video conference recording. This is a recording that I'm going to be sending to students later, and so you don't want to put them in there before you have the class. So now, when the class starts, this is what you'll need to do. First, I recommend you open up the slideshow that you're going to have. Whatever kind of content you're going to be sharing in the Chrome browser, open that up so that you can go ahead and share that. Then you're going to go to your calendar and you're going to find that event. So here's the event that I created, and it has a blue button right here that says Join with Google Meet. So I'll go ahead and click on that. It's going to open a new tab, and this is what allows me to actually enter this video conference where I'm going to be recording. Now, the recording is not happening yet. And so you're going to manually do that. And you do that by going here to the three, buttons or three dots, I guess. some people, pardon me, call that the hot dog. You're going to click that and then click record meeting. But what I'm going to recommend that you do is, like I said, open up your slideshow, be ready, because you don't, with this method, want to be editing this video at all. This is a no edit video. And so we're going to record it and we're going to save it and share it and basically be done. So at this point, I'm ready to start my recording. I'm going to click on the three dots and choose record meeting, and I'm going to click accept. I'm looking up here in the upper left corner to see that my record button has gone red, and it has. So hello everyone, this is Wes Fryer, and today is August the 3rd, 2020. This is a test recording, and we are demonstrating how to use Google Hangout Meet to do what we're calling a lesson cast. Okay, so I now need to, I was going to do this earlier. Go ahead and choose what I'm going to share. So I'm going to say share my slide. So now I'm casting my slide, and now we can go ahead and go through whatever it is that I want to record and say. So let's pretend like my lesson is finished. I am done with my recording. You need to return here to your Hangout Meet or your Google Meet tab, and then you're going to do one of two things. You could either click on the three dots and choose to stop the recording, or if you want to, you can simply hang up the call. You're the only person in this, and so when you hang up the call, that's going to end the recording. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and just hang up, and that ends my recording. Now, what Google is doing behind the scenes is it is compressing that video file, and it is putting it into this Meet Recordings folder. So I'm done with all of the when class, the lesson start section. What I'm ready to do now, after class is over, is share the link. And so I'm going to show you two different ways you can get the link to that recording, and then you can make that available to your students. The first technique is you can simply go to the calendar event, and I'm going to go back to a recording I did previously today. And look at that. Do you see this little red icon that looks like a, what is that called? Clapper for, ready, set, action on the movie set there. That is a link to the video that I have recorded before. So here's one way. If your students have access to email, you can, and you only have a couple students who are remote, you could edit this calendar invitation and you can add their address. I'm going to use just a generic student account that we use for demo purposes here. So you can put in their email account, and when I click save, those students are going to receive an email invitation, if I click send, to this event, and they're going to be notified that they received that. When they click on that, it has the link right there to the recording. So that is really slick. And if they want to go back, oh, I wonder what we did in class on Monday, that is a way they can go back and have access to that video. So that's really the first technique that I recommend. But again, your students need to have email in order to do it that way. Here's the next technique, all right? And this is for lower division or primary division, anybody else who is using this technique. You're still going to need to find the video link to copy it, right? So you can go to your calendar event, you can click on the link, and it's going to open, and there's that video. The other way that you can find it is that when you go to your Google Drive, so here I am just in, pardon me, just in drive.google.com. I have a folder here called Meet Recordings. And so this has the recordings of all of the meetings that I've had. And so there it is. There's that computer class that I had recorded before. So I can right click or two finger tap and choose Get Shareable Link. And then I can choose to copy that link. All right. Again, notice because the entire folder I've given it the ability for anyone with the internet to view, that's going to be the case here. So everyone's going to be able to see that. So now I'm ready to share that with students in either Google Classroom or Seesaw. So just as an example, I'll go into one of the Minecraft Google Classrooms I use this summer for my camps. So I can go in here to classwork and I can choose to create. In this case, I'll do a material and I'll say, class recording from August 3rd, 2020. And when I say add, I'm adding a link. And I'm going to paste in the link to our video. If I wanted a topic, like I was using moderator meetings, we actually recorded videos as we were doing that. You can have a topic for your recordings. And you can also send this to multiple classes if you would need to, but you may just be sending it to one class. But when I click post, then in this case, all the students who are in my class are going to receive that link. Okay, and they're going to be able to view that. I'll show you what those look like. So down here at the bottom, I organize. See, here's the moderator meetings. And so if I view here, I can click on the link and view the video to that recording. Actually, that wasn't. Oh, that was sorry. That was the live link. I guess I didn't put the class. This is an example of a recording. I didn't end up publishing that, but that's what it looks like. And you can organize those in topics. Okay, that's Google Classroom. Last thing, let's talk about Seesaw. So here is one of my classes from the spring, which I just unarchived so I can look at it. I'm going to click add and choose to post student work, except I'm going to choose link, and then I'm going to paste in the address of the video that I would like to share. So I'll go ahead and check that box. And I'm not sure why that didn't come up right away. If I click on the three dots, I can add a link and go ahead and paste it in there. Let's see if this works. And so now, ta-da, there is my video of my recording. And when I go ahead and do my checkbox, I can choose who it goes to. I'm only going to put this in the sample student because I don't want to really send it to those students. And I've made a folder called LessonCast Videos. You can create that if you want. And that way, again, all of your recordings are going to be organized for students because they're going to be in a folder. And they'll be able to sort through those by clicking on the folder. And then they can choose which one they want to view. So LessonCast Videos, ta-da, there they are. All right, so I hope that's been helpful to you. There are additional resources that are available for lesson casting with other techniques, but hopefully if you're able to utilize the required tools here using your Google Calendar, Google Hangout Meets, Google Drive, that can be a streamlined way to let you record your lessons and be able to allow students to have access to them after the fact. All right, good luck.